He was in The Prince of Tides, and she was also in The Prince of Tides. Can our contestants take the long way around the world to connect Nick Nolte to Barbara Streisand? Find out on today's 5 to 9. Welcome to 5 to 9, the movie game for movie fans. I'm your host, Eric Ginsberg, and we're coming to you from the most centrally located movie theater in Asbury Park, the Showroom Cinema on Cookman Avenue. Do you love movies? Do you love getting lost in the IMDb, the Internet Movie Database? Do you love talking through, who is that guy? Who is in that thing? What's his face? Then this is your show, and this game is for you. My first guest today is somebody who can watch anything Cher is in and thinks that Moonstruck may be the best movie of all time. Would you please welcome to the show, Allison Strong. Allison, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Hi.
I'm so glad that you're here. Now, Allison, please tell me, why is Moonstruck like your absolute favorite?
I live for Italian-American comedies from the 80s. I wasn't even born in the 80s, but I loved them so much. Cher's album was my first CD that was ever gifted to me by my aunt from BJ's in the 90s. It was the Believe record.
Mm-hmm.
And my 7-year-old mind just couldn't believe that she was like a mermaid to me.
Well, she starred in Mermaids.
Exactly. Literally, which is why I'm going to segue there. But I've always loved Cher, and I love her attitude. I love that she goes snap out of it to Nick Cage. I love that he has no hand. Olympia Dukakis, men are afraid they're going to die. That, when she says, talk to her husband.
You've been on Broadway in both Mamma Mia and Bye Bye Birdie.
Yes.
And of course, Cher was in the sequel to the film adaptation of Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again.
Yes.
Can you tell me, what's it like, being in a Broadway musical where you've got to do so many shows a week, the same show over and over to audiences of all varieties?
Yes.
Give me like, what's a high point? What's a low point?
What I would always say is that the hardest days are 2 show days, which we'll call 2 douches sometimes because we'll be so exhausted. Those are Wednesdays and Saturdays. And by Sundays, you're completely tired. So I would just say the hardest thing is you have to make sure that you're fueling yourself in the right way and don't eat a burger in between shows, which I would often do. And then you're in a dance show, don't do it.
Oh, no.
You're going to have like real stomach upset and you're not going to be able to jump as high or fit in your costume. So basically, you have to learn how to rest when you're doing 8 shows a week, and I probably no one else will say this. Don't eat a burger in between shows.
There you go. Golden advice. Now, Allison, in addition to being an actress whom our listeners and viewers, if you're watching on YouTube, might best recognize from the week of on Netflix with Adam Sandler and Chris Rock, where you played Adam Sandler's daughter, and you're also a singer in your own right. You're also, you have an album, Bronte, the lead single of which just premiered here at the Garden State Film Festival. Is that correct?
So actually, Bronte is the title track of the record, and I'm saving it for last.
Oh.
The first one's going to be La Luna.
Oh, La Luna. That's the one that just debuted here at the Garden State Film Festival.
No, Bronte debuted way too soon. Way too
okay.
soon.
It's
like
a
sneak peek. You did have it right.
Okay.
You did have it right, but it's not the first single off the record. I'm doing it a flip-flop.
Okay.
So, Bronte is the name of the full record, which will be out. And our music video debuted at the festival yesterday, which is amazing to see everything on the big screen. And for any fans and friends that were there, they were basically saying something that no one else is going to be able to see until it's, on Vivo and live on YouTube. So.
Sure. So what is, I guess, give us an idea of like your genre of music and what do you want to accomplish with the album Bronte?
I'm a folk singer-songwriter with a Latin twist. So I write in both English and in Spanish. What am I trying to accomplish? This is actually a collection of songs that I wrote during the pandemic. I started a songwriting circle on Zoom for so many artists that were, just looking for a creative outlet. And I hadn't released a record in 10 years. And it became immediately clear after writing, I don't know, maybe 100-something songs with my group.
That's a lot
that
of songs.
I needed to record some. And so what am I trying to accomplish other than, getting these songs out of my voice memos and out of my notebook and, out into the world? I think a lot of my songs are very personal, but they're also folk music is of the people, and you hope that people hear themselves in the music. So it's a very relaxing vibe type of music. And a lot of the lyrics are just they sort of hit you in your soul. I look up to Joni Mitchell a lot, and if I could, but I also get that people say that it's a cross between Joni Mitchell and Kate Bush, which is, I think, like a weird magical mix.
Maybe the best compliment that anybody could ever give anybody about anything. Like, how's my cooking? It's a mix between. Like, that's probably the best compliment anybody could ever get.
Yeah, no. So everyone that's heard it so far, that's what they'll say. But yeah, I think it's a mixture of me just leaping and seeing if the net will appear. I started as a singer, and it's just a really exciting time to be releasing this record.
Sure,
so.
and you've had recurring roles on The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and The Blacklist, and I just have to ask, going back to your film The Week Of, which was directed by Robert Smigel.
I love and who is from New Jersey.
He is. And let me ask you, does he ever bring out Triumph, the insult comic dog, in his directing, or does like that voice work his way into the directing? Like, does he ever tell you like that was a really good take for me to poop on? Like, do these things ever happen?
If you go deep into my Instagram account, and maybe some people will, you will find Triumph, the comedy insult dog, singing to me personally on the set of The Week Of, on our hardest day, a day that our if anyone, I don't know if this is a spoiler for anybody, but there is a fire. There is something bad that happens.
The movie's been out for a number of years.
Yes. And so, but unfortunately, it became a literal fire that the fire department had to come to our set.
Oh.
And so we had some time, and Triumph came out and sang to me personally. But Robert has Robert, Adam, and Adam sort of developed a real fatherly, they became very fatherly of me on set.
Sure. One of them playing your father, the
literally.
other of them bossing you around, but sure.
But Robert is like, I can't say anything mean to you. So you really had to hold back with what Triumph would have said.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll be my challenge to your viewers and listeners, to go into my Instagram account and to go deep down the rabbit hole and find that video of myself with Triumph. So yes, he does take him out.
Well, we're gonna look for that. Thank you so much, Allison.
I'm already halfway there.
It's deep. You have to go to 2018.
I wasn't even born then. Our next guest is a writer and a producer whose favorite film of all time is Network. And Andrew Hunsicker, you want to see that movie remade. Can you tell me why? First of all, welcome to the show, Andrew. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
And tell me, why can we remake Network, especially right now where network news is an entirely different climate than it was then?
Actually, the film itself doesn't even need to be remade. It could just be replayed, because what they speak about is happening now. So it'd be kind of cool to see it in this certain current environment. But yeah, it would be interesting. But actually, that film is kind of timeless. Unfortunately, the themes it talks about, it's interesting.
Yeah. And also, we were talking before the show, and you told me, despite all the opportunities available at your disposal, you have never, not once in your life, seen a single Star Wars movie.
I have not, and it's shameful. I'm 60 years old, and I haven't seen a Star Wars movie, but I'm just going to keep it that way. I figured I've already had, so I'm going to go with it.
It's just too much to catch up on now. It's not even worth it.
Yeah, no, I haven't. And I've seen pieces, and I know what goes on, but no, I haven't, shamefully. And Harry Potter, too. And Allison was quite upset with that when she found that out.
Well, I will tell you, I saw the first Harry Potter movie, the first Lord of the Rings movie, and episode 2 of Star Wars, all of them in the same year. 2002 was one heck of a year for movies. I saw them on opening night at the Chinese Theater on Hollywood Boulevard in like an absolutely packed theater with over 1,000 people. And like, seeing a movie with that kind of audience, it's something special. Yeah. So that's my little connection between Star Wars and Harry Potter, if there's one in my brain. But also, you feel that maybe one of the underappreciated movies, Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, and I just want to know, is that a sequel or is that a prequel to You, Me, and Dupree? Or are they unrelated?
I think they're unrelated.
Unrelated.
No,
okay.
That was it's just a wonderful film. It was done in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, And a couple of years ago, and it struck me. The stars in it, Nick Offerman and what's the guy's name?
Yeah.
The guy was in, we're starting the game already. The guy who was in Walking Dead, John something or other.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. Yeah, it's just a powerful film. And not many people spoke about it, but it struck me. And
Sure.
it's in the last 5 years, which is unusual. I usually like the older ones.
So speaking of powerful films, your new film, Meatloaf and Pie at the Sunset Cafe,
Yeah.
just debuted here at the Showroom Cinema as part of the Garden State Film Festival this weekend. Can you tell me about your movie?
It's about two nemesis who, a cop and a crook, who meet at a diner and decide if they can live with each other's existence, and then things go awry. It played yesterday. It was wonderful. Garden State is such a accepting and incredible film festival, particularly for independent artists, filmmakers like myself. And we had such a blast. It's a fun film. It's a short. And my son directed it, Jake Hunsicker, and we both wrote it. And we do films together. So it's always a great time, and it really is a labor of love for this one. We did have a film here a couple of years ago called The Arrangement.
Right, and that's currently on Tubi, Roku, and Sling, right?
Exactly, yeah. And so that was more of our. Most people can see that, but films and film festivals are wonderful to see short form and long form films and meet incredible people like Allison, who I just, I mean, really,
You're
it's
so
been
kind.
it's been incredible. Every day, every interaction I have, I'm meeting new people from different backgrounds, and it's a fantastic place for artists and filmmakers and of all genres to meet.
Yeah. Now, Allison's music video, Bronte, premiered here. Was this also the premiere of your Meatloaf and Pie at the Sunset Cafe?
Yes, it was. It was the premiere of Meatloaf and Pie at the Sunset Cafe, and we're going to go on into some other festivals as well. But Garden State holds such a special place in our hearts, and that was the first one we wanted to go to, and they accepted it, and we were grateful, and it was a wonderful screening. Really, one of the best experiences. Having people see your work is really the greatest thing in person, and this environment was just so such a given environment. It's fantastic.
All right. So, Andrew, Allison, we've invited you here to play the movie game 5 to 9. But before we do, we're going to do a little warm-up round. Before the show, we asked you to write down the names of 5 actors each. We're going to pull one name out of the hat and give you 60 seconds to name as many of their movies as possible. Any movie they've appeared in counts. So Jason's going to put 60 seconds on the clock. Jason, you got your 60 seconds up?
Ready to go.
And I'm pulling one name out of the hat. This is for literally no stakes.
Okay.
Name as many films as you can starring the illustrious New Jersey native but Kansas City raised Paul Rudd. Go.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
1.
Anchorman.
2.
The Avengers.
Clueless.
3. Wait, which Avengers?
Endgame.
That's 4.
Clueless.
Yeah, I got that one before.
Oh, God.
Anchorman 2.
That's 5.
Was he American Pie? No,
No,
he wasn't.
I don't think so.
What other Ant-Man movies are there?
Ant-Man 1?
You already got that one.
But, right. And then there's Avengers Endgame. Does he make an appearance in, was there Ant-Man 2?
There is. I'll give it to you.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's
we go.
number 2.
There we go.
What else is Paul Rudd in?
I was going to say Saturday Night Live, but that's not a movie.
Nor was he a cast member, though, a 5-time host.
No, a five-time host.
Any Paul Rudd movies?
How many Clueless films were there?
Oh, wait, no, the Adam McKay ones. This is 40.
Yeah, that's another one. That's 7.
It wasn't he in Virgin?
Yes,
40-year-old Virgin.
I'll give it to you.
Okay.
And what was the film that This Is 40 was spun off from?
Oh,
Another Adam McKay movie.
yeah.
I'm sorry, no, not Adam
That
McKay.
is time.
That was not Adam McKay. That was Mr. Leslie Mann. That is former roommates with Adam Sandler, Judd Apatow. Thank you very
Apatow,
much.
yeah.
Apatow films, not McKay films, but I'll give it to you. So you got 8 points.
That's not bad.
Could have come up with the Knocked Up film that
Knocked
This Is
Up.
40 was spun off from. But give me some more Paul Rudd films, Jason.
Just from his top credits here, we got The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Mm-hmm.
Another good film.
I Love You, Man.
Mm-hmm. Could have gone with the Catcher Was a Spy, a totally dramatic role.
Oh, I have not heard of that, but
I haven't seen that one.
yeah.
Yeah,
Most recent Ghostbusters.
that's right. He was in
Cool.
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Mhm.
He was in a movie called I Can Never Be Your Woman. with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Based on the 1994 Whitetown song?
Named after it, but otherwise unrelated. But it did bring him back together with Stacey Dash from Clueless.
Yeah.
There you go.
Underrated song.
He was behind me online.
You've seen Paul Rudd in person?
Count it.
Well, we've been,
Eric,
yeah.
count
At the show, we saw him in the lobby of Old Man in the Pool by Mike Birbiglia on Broadway.
Oh, wow.
He was like with a group of people, and I tried to follow him to the water fountain. It did not work.
No.
He disappeared.
Is he as ageless in person as he is on the screen?
He's got a lot of scruff. He's got a lot, but he he was in a hoodie. You know, he's allowed.
He is.
He was great. But it's funny, Mike Birbiglia posted on his account the next day, you know, when I look in the mirror, I hope to see Paul Rudd.
I will add one more credit just because I had no idea he was in this. 1996's Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, that's correct.
Wait.
He was in
The
that
one? Wait.
with
was-
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Did he
Jamie
play
Kennedy,
Paris?
Claire Danes.
He was, and
Who did he play?
I just had it in front of me here a second ago. He was Paris, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that seems right. That seems right.
The Baz Luhrmann banger.
Was he a child actor?
He was not a child. He was like early 20s.
He just has an ageless face.
He
There
does.
was an Instagram post about this. that
His
he
earliest
just
credits
looks the
go back
same.
to 92, 93,
Yeah.
which puts him
He
on...
was about 20 then.
Yeah.
Now, guys, the real reason we've invited you both here today is to play the movie game 5 to 9, where you'll have to connect 2 actors through no fewer than 5 and no more than 9 movies. It is time to open up your game pads.
Boy.
Crinkle those packages, and let's see what we've got. All right, so guys, I'm going to pull names out of the hat, and we're going to jot these down. I gave you pens earlier, and the first name that we're going to pull is Nick Nolte. So in the from spot, let's put Nick Nolte, who was at one time people's sexiest man alive, if you can believe such malarkey. The second name we're going to pull out is, somebody near and dear to Allison's heart, Barbara Streisand.
Wow.
No.
Well,
Barbara Streisand's been in a lot of movies.
I love Barbara. I can help with
Lot
the
of
Barbara
movies.
end if you can help with the Nick Nolte.
Now, guys, we're going to draw one more name, and that name is going to be our wild card, though you must go from Nick Nolte to Barbara Streisand to win. If you can also get through Sally Field, you will get 3 bonus points. You will also get 2 bonus points for going through our perennial wild card, Kevin Bacon, and 1 bonus point for any Saturday Night Live cast member. One more thing, guys, you will get a bonus point every time you land on today's house rule. I'm spinning the wheel right now, and today's house rule is going to be, no MCU and no Oceans, which means you must avoid all MCU movies and all Oceans-numbered movies, which immediately makes your brain only think of that. You know, it's like the Penguin game, stop thinking about penguins. You just lost the game.
Barbara should have been in the MCU. She should be, but she's not, so this might help.
Who would you cast her as?
Squirrel Girl.
Ooh,
Good one.
that's a deep cut. Now, guys,
I also play Marvel Snap and recently learned about Squirrel Girl.
I dream of being Squirrel Girl.
Guys, before we play, we'd like to apologize in advance to the actors who spent a career building a body of work whose faces we know but whose names we may butcher, and to all the hardworking writers, directors, and producers who picked the perfect name for a movie that we may likely fumble through. We swear we really do love your work. Now, Allison, Andrew, you're going to be working together on this. I'll be here on the sideline to help you out a little bit, but not too much. Are you ready to play the game?
Sure.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. So talk it out. What are some movies Nick Nolte's been in?
Well,
some movies
He's gonna have
Barbara
to do this one.
Streisand, Sally
I can
Field.
do Barbara Streisand.
Give me whatever you got. Just start talking it through.
Well, there's one that they were both in, but that would not
course.
work.
They played husband and wife in.
Prince of Tides.
That's correct. But that'd be one
Thank
movie, and that would not win
that
5
could
to
work.
9.
So we have to kind of go around.
Okay, so you start with a Nick Nolte. I
Sure.
can help with the Barbara.
Sure. So
and a Sally.
Nick Nolte, 48 Hours
With
Eddie Murphy,
Of course.
and
they did another one of those too.
another 48
That's
Hours.
right.
They sure did. Prince of Tides, Affliction, he was just in, oh my gosh, he was in Hulk, the first one.
Which is not an MCU movie, so that does count.
Does count. Okay, so.
That would count
and
today.
that was with Edward Norton. He's in that.
That was not with Edward Norton.
No, who's
that? Was the
with?
Incredible Hulk
That's
with
the
Edward
Incredible
Norton.
Hulk. No, who was he in with? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, who was in Ang Lee's Hulk? When Marvel wanted to start doing Avengers stuff, the one piece they were missing was they had already licensed Hulk movie rights to Universal. So the way they got Hulk back into the MCU was they made a deal with Universal. They said, look, you're not going to make another one of these. We will make it. We will spend all the money. You will keep all the box office. And after that, we will have the right to use Hulk in non-standalone films. And that worked great for Universal because they made the entire box office on Incredible Hulk, which was actually the lowest grossing MCU film, I think still to this day. But that's how they've been able to put the Hulk in all the other Avengers movies and why we've never gotten another standalone Hulk film.
So
and now you know.
And that's but I can't remember who played Hulk, but Mark Ruffalo? No, he didn't
Mark
play
Ruffalo was in the MCU one.
He was in the MCU, but
that's correct.
Sam Elliott was in that movie.
Sam Elliott was in that movie.
So Sam Elliott's a great link.
Sam
Was
Elliott's
Sam
in
Elliott
Star
in-
is Born.
Was he in
He was in
anything
Star and Born.
with Sally Field?
That's what I'm trying to think.
Because Sam Elliott was in the most current Star is Born, though Barbara
Yes.
was in the
First Star is Born.
No, not the first Star is Born. The first Star is Born was with Judy Garland.
Yes.
Oh,
That's what who I
This
love.
is a film that just keeps coming back.
Keep
Yeah,
coming
Barbara
back. Yeah,
Streisand was
yeah.
in it with Chris Christopherson.
Yes.
Yes, he was.
Addiction is
Yes.
perennial.
Okay, so that's a good link because Christopherson was in all the Blade movies. He was also in
Which was not MCU.
not MCU. Also, oh gosh, oh my gosh, it's going to kill me. Okay, we'll get there.
So where do you want to go from Sam Elliott? And are there two T's in Elliott or one?
I think there's one T.
One? I'm not. Don't put money on it. Don't put money on that.
Sam Elliott
Yeah,
was
talk
in.
it through.
Let's go Roadhouse.
Sam
Can-
Elliott does
can we
some
get-
westerns.
Can we get from Sam Elliott to Sally Field? Because if so, she's worth 3 points.
Yeah. So Sally Field,
Sybil.
Sybil,
Steel Magnolias.
Steel Magnolias,
Norma Ray.
Norma Ray. That's the one I'm thinking of. Okay.
Recent one. 80 to Brady, which is with
80 to
Rita
Brady.
Moreno.
Right.
And
Fonda.
Jane Fonda.
Okay.
And Lily Tomlin.
Yes.
Yep.
Correct.
And I think Tom Brady's in that. Has to
He
be
is.
his name is in it.
He
Not that
is.
he'd be helpful.
Tom Brady,
Yeah.
though it's a TV show with Paul Rudd living with myself, Tom Brady makes a fun little cameo in that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome.
Great show.
So Sally Field and Sam Elliott. I know Sam
Has
Elliott.
Sam Elliott ever worked with Jane Fonda? He had to have, in some sort of.
Fonda.
Or we can go. Well, why don't we can go through.
I know
what's-
Jane
what's-
Fonda film. I know some Jane Fonda
Why,
films.
why don't you go through A Star is Born and see who's in The Star
I
is
was
Born?
gonna
Okay,
say
Star is Born.
So
Are we
Bradley
talking about the
Cooper?
recent one, or are
Yeah,
we talking?
sure.
Okay,
The
That's
one with
what he
Sam
was in.
Elliott.
Yeah.
with Sam Elliott, Lady Gaga.
You know what? Let me put something on the table right now. I'm just going to put it out there. I don't know if we can do it, but if you can get 2 different versions of A Star is Born, I would give you an extra point for that on basic principle.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Well, we
Star is
could-
Born.
Fast and loose today, Eric.
The recent one is Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper, Sam Elliott.
Right.
Dave
Dave Chappelle was in it.
He is.
Yes, Dave Chappelle,
they get married
a
at his
Latinx
house.
actor who was the lead in the Heights. In the Heights, and his name is Anthony Ramos. Is in
Fantastic.
the recent Star is Born.
Okay, we got Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper should give us some sort of
Did
play.
Rita Moreno have a small part in The Heights?
I don't know.
I feel like it's the kind of thing she should have done.
She should have, but she didn't. Olga
didn't.
Merediz played
Thank
the
you.
grandmother in The
Thank you.
Heights.
That was that West Side Story connection I was
Yeah,
looking
she
for.
was. I think they may have offered it to Rito first, but Olga Merediz got it, and she was.
But that is a
phenomenal.
connection that can get us to Sally Field.
Okay,
So,
so
okay,
and
so
Sally Field is also in 80 to Brady
Right.
with Rita Moreno.
Right, that's
Jane
what I'm
Fonda.
saying. Okay, hold on. Let's jot some stuff down. A Star is Born with the name of the actor from The Heights was
Anthony Ramos.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Anthony Ramos, who was in The Heights with who was our connection from The Heights?
Olga Merediz. Olga Merediz, a great Broadway actress.
M-E-R.
M-E-R. Merediz.
Oh, it was a Z at the end. I almost had it. Who is in West Side Story with, yes,
Rita Moreno.
Rita Moreno, who is in 80 for Brady with today's wild card, Sally Field. All right, so you've made it to the wild card. How do we get from our wild card, Sally Field, to Barbara? Babura. How do we get
Okay.
there?
Why don't we
do
talk
that?
about Sally Field movies for a second?
Or Barbara Streisand movies.
Or
'cause
Barbara
there are fewer of
Streisand
those.
movies.
Okay, well,
Yentl.
Yentl.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Meet the Fockers.
Mm.
well, there you go.
Loaded
Wait a
cast.
minute. We got Meet the Fockers. So you got De Niro. You got Stiller.
Stiller.
Mm-hmm.
You have
Who's the gal?
Owen Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Owen Wilson.
Any of them in a Sally Field joint? I just turned all Sally Field movies into Spike Lee movies,
Sally
just like
Field
Yeah.
isn't as a. And I just saw her.
I'm going to go Cannonball Run, which would be obscene, but it is. She's in that film,
that. Okay, with
and there's a million, but that's old time stuff.
sure.
Like Bruce.
Hello,
Bert-
Dolly.
Well,
Barbara
no,
Streisand's in Dolly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What was Barbara Streisand's most
Funny
recent
Girl?
movie?
Most recent movie?
Yeah, that I can think of. I don't know. I think it's the most recent one. She plays somebody's mother who does the thing that Jewish mothers do.
She was in Meet the Fockers, but this is not Meet the Fockers.
That's okay. Let's go through Meet the Fockers. So we've got, yes, we have De Niro. Yes, we have Ben Stiller. Yes, we have, who plays her husband in Meet the Fockers?
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
How do we get any of those people to
Oh
Sally
my!
Field?
You have to be able to.
Yeah, I feel like we're so close.
We have to be able to with that.
We're more than halfway there.
Yeah.
Why don't we start talking about some Sally Field stuff that she's done recently, and it might
Sure.
be helpful.
She just keeps going.
Yeah.
She's been in so many great
She
films.
has.
She has.
Punchline
with Tom Hanks.
Yes.
Lincoln.
Lincoln
Daniel
with
Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
And you got a whole bunch of actors there.
She was in Punchline with Tom Hanks, and also who was her husband in Punchline?
John Goodman. Was
John
it John
Goodman.
Right.
That's
right.
That's right. And
So Sally, we got to get one of them. Okay, so
what else? What else was she in with Tom Hanks? Yeah, that one.
Forrest Gump.
That's correct.
oh my God, Forrest Gump. Right.
You know, it was kind of comedic because they had just done Punchline,
Run,
and
Forrest, run.
then they were mother
and then they played mother and
yeah.
son. So they were like somewhat romantic
Right.
interests in one, and then they were mother and son in the next.
Okay, so
I'm
turned around, but we got a lot
Sally
of we got a lot to
Field.
work
Well,
with
who's
here.
who's in? Well, that movie has so many people. It's Tom Hanks, and then
Forrest Gump?
Cuba Gooding. No, that's wrong. Cuba Gooding Jr. is not in
Forrest Gump?
Forrest Gump.
No,
I'm
but,
thinking of Tom.
well,
now I'm
right,
thinking
Robin
of
Wright.
Tom Cruise.
Wrong Tom.
Robin Wright's in Forrest Gump.
Robin Wright is in
Robin
Forrest
Wright
Gump.
is in Forrest Gump.
And then you have like historical figures. You have LBJ. We
Yeah,
could
but
do it.
we can't
Can't
count
use
him.
them. Oh,
No, that's
come on.
archival footage. That's not going to be
okay.
considered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody else voiced and played the mouth
You're
part.
right. You're right. They did. Okay, we got to
Okay,
get this.
we need to find the connection between Streisand and Field.
Right.
Streisand's
And
recent.
you came out strong saying that you just leave Field and Streisand to me, and here we are finding out exactly how you're
Dang
going to do it
it.
right after the break.
Hey, it's producer Jason stepping in here real quick to thank you for listening to 5 to 9, a movie game podcast. We're actually really excited to bring this show back for its new season with new and improved audio and video. If you listen to the audio version, make sure you subscribe on your podcast app of choice to make sure you get the newest episodes as soon as they release. And if you want to watch the video as well, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Links to all of these can be found at 5to9game.com. Okay, you followed? You there? You got it? Great. Let's get back to the show.
All right, so we are back, and we're trying to figure out how to get from Sally Field to Barbara Streisand. Can we do it? We only have 3 movies left available to us.
Only 3. Okay, so
I take it back. We have 4. We have 4 spots left available to us.
4. And we want to try to get through a Saturday Night Live when we could.
If you can, but it's not a rule.
Kevin Bacon. Okay,
Kevin Bacon would get you 2 points. And Tom Hanks was in a movie with Kevin Bacon. But I don't know how to get from there to Barbara Streisand.
Yeah, I don't either. And I'm kind of turned around here. So
Okay, Streisand.
Streisand, Stars
Hit me
Born.
with it, Streisand. So she was in.
Yentl.
She was
Well, let me
in.
ask you a
Okay.
question. Was Chris Christopherson in other films?
He was in Little Star is Born with Barbara Streisand.
Right, I'm saying, was he in other films?
Yeah, no, I mean, Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. The Heaven's Gate.
This is impressive.
This isn't.
But
You should come on a show like this
no,
sometime.
well, I love that guy. I actually did a film based on one of his songs. But he's great. But the Blade movies, and then he was in. Oh gosh, I can't.
Sally
I know.
Field was in a film called My Name Is not Norma Jean, but she played like this older lady, and it was painful to watch. My God,
It was
That was a
was
painful one.
directed by Michael Showalter,
and it's
who
My
also
Name
made
Is dot dot
The Big
dot.
Sick.
Oh, really? Who made The Big
Oh,
Sick?
wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he made The Big Sick and he made Lovebirds. He was a member of the State, and he also used to babysit our friend Sam.
Oh, wow.
That's
What
a fun little
connection.
fact. Yeah.
What would be most
He was a
helpful?
kid at the time.
Talking more about Sally Field films or
I
talking
think
about more
Sally
Barbara?
Field. Well, Barbara has less films. I want to say. I think Sally's been.
She's in, was she Auntie Mame?
I do not know.
No, I don't think she.
She wasn't
was.
Auntie Mame. So she was Hello Dolly. She was Funny Girl.
She was a very funny girl at the time.
Yeah, she was Funny
Who
Girl.
else
but this
was in
is real
Funny
old.
Girl?
Who else was in Funny Girl?
Because none of these movies help us if we can't tell anybody
Yeah.
else it was in them.
So
Who's her last film when she played the mother? Can we come up with that? That he just mentioned.
I know.
I know. Because that would be.
Or we can go through. I mean, Meet the Fockers again. Very loaded cast.
Yeah, we have to
Yeah.
Meet the
Okay.
Fockers.
But you know
so
what?
Meet
That's
the
what we're just
Fockers.
gonna have to do.
We're
Okay.
gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk
Okay, I
about
got it. I got it. I think I got it.
Yeah?
Okay, so
Okay.
Meet the Fockers. De Niro
Uh-huh.
goes to Deer Hunter with Walken,
Ooh, okay.
and Walken with Heaven's Gate with Chris Christopherson. But how does that help
You
us?
just got us some Barbara Streisand and Barbara Streisand.
I did. That's it. Do I get points for that? That's good.
That was very
You just
impressive.
made a big Barbara Streisand
Okay.
circle.
Okay. So we have to get from one of those
Meet the
Fockers
to
Sally Field.
What am I
Okay.
doing that for? Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So Meet the Fockers. We've got Dustin Hoffman.
Mm-hmm.
What has Dustin Hoffman been in?
Everything, but
Well, why don't we list them off?
Well, I
Yeah,
can
let's-
think of something. Okay, so there was an actor you mentioned right before the show that was in something with Sally Field and was in something with Dustin Hoffman. So I've got the cinch right here. See if you can rattle off some Dustin Hoffman films. See where you go.
okay, The Graduate,
Because
Marathon Man.
He played the titular character in a 90s film, though he was the villain.
In a Dustin Hoffman played the
Mhm.
villain. Okay, Sleepers. That wouldn't be a villain in that.
He
But
was not the villain, but who was in Sleepers?
De Niro,
And also,
Kevin Bacon.
yeah.
We got
Okay.
Bacon, little Bacon action there.
Okay, so we can hold on a second. Hold on. Maybe this is the way to work it. So Sally Field was in, you said a moment ago, was in what with Tom Hanks?
Forrest Gump.
Punchline.
Oh wait.
Either one.
Or Forrest Gump. You know, right.
I'm going to go Punchline just for fun.
Okay.
And that was with Tom Hanks. And we just, let's see, we said, is this too many movies? I've got Barbara Streisand was in Meet the Fockers with who did we just Dustin Hoffman,
Hoffman.
right? Actually, we can go Dustin Hoffman or Robert De Niro because both Dustin Hoffman and Robert De Niro were in Sleepers, weren't they?
They were both.
Either way, we got Sleepers with Kevin Bacon. Now, if you can just tell me the name of the movie that Tom Hanks was in with Kevin Bacon, you've won this game.
Oh God.
Gosh. Okay.
What has Tom Hanks been in? Okay, Big.
Everything.
Big. The one where he's got the card in the airport.
This movie was really amazing. It was out of this world.
Yeah. Oh,
He was-
Apollo 13.
Apollo 13. There you go. For the win. Folks, we did it in 9 movies, so we'll do 10 minus the number of movies. Only 1 point for that. But you did get through the wild card for 3 points of Sally Field. You didn't use a single Oceans or MCU movie, though we did skirt the rules by using Ang Lee's Hulk. So you're going to get 1 point over there. You got 2 points for Kevin Bacon. Did we get any Saturday Night Live cast members? We did not. But folks, 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7 points for the win. Congratulations to both of you. Jason, what were some other fun connections we could have made?
I got a couple pulled up here. Now, of course, the most direct route, which you guys got right off the bat, which is invalid for this game, is Barbara Streisand through The Prince of Tides, right to Nick Nolte. But we can go through Barbara Streisand through Citizen Steve, which is a comedy. It was a theatrical release.
I feel like you've just made that up.
But a lot of comedians were in that, so that gets us Robin Williams to Mrs. Doubtfire, Sally Fields.
I was also going in my brain.
Oh my gosh!
Right.
Oh, that's the first credit I thought of for it.
And I also had that Robin Williams was in Hook with Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman, right?
The titular
Oh my
villain.
Now, a
gosh.
few more here. Nick Nolte through Adam Sandler's The Ridiculous Six,
Yes,
with
true, yeah.
Luke Wilson, which gets us Legally Blonde 2 with Sally Fields.
You can also say that Adam Sandler was in Funny People with Seth Rogen, who was in Guilt Trip with Barbara Streisand.
Oh my! Oh no, I
I would
didn't
have
know
never
that.
been able to get that.
Really?
Oh,
But Miss
my-
Doubtfire.
Miss Doubtfire, I'm truly ashamed
I'm
of
ashamed
myself
too. Yeah,
as
we're
well.
both we're ashamed we didn't get that, right?
Yeah, I'm ashamed
Probably,
I didn't get that.
probably should be. Next up, a different route we could have taken, also from Nick Nolte with The Ridiculous Six with Luke Wilson, gives us the 2000 Frankie Muniz movie My Dog Skip with Kevin Bacon.
With Kevin Bacon,
With
that's
Kevin
right.
Bacon, we get the
Kevin Bacon
Muniz.
and Kira Sedgwick, right?
I believe so.
His wife.
I don't know how you got that off the top of your head, because I can
that's
barely
pretty
find
good,
it by
I'm
by
pretty
clicking on
sure
it.
she was in the two of them were also together in Murder in the First. They've done some stuff together, including
Can't
making children.
confirm that
Yeah, they done
through this.
Who- who was his daughter was in Smile. Their daughter was in that movie Smile.
That is true, guys. I gotta put a pin in it. I gotta wrap it.
Oh, I got
up.
one more. I got one more fun one.
Okay.
Now we got Barbara Streisand through The Prince of Tides with George Carlin,
Oh, that would have
which
been
gets
good.
us Cars with Tom Hanks. Now you were trying to get a Tom Hanks connection back to Barbara
They're Cars.
Streisand. I got there through Cars and George Carlin.
That's really
His
that's
part
really
in
good.
Cars was so small. You know, it was blink your
Counts.
ears and you'll miss it.
still a point.
You're right. Allison Strong, Andrew Hunsicker, thank you so much for taking the time to be on 5 to 9 today. For playing our game, you've each won the official 5 to 9 gamepad, which comes with 50 game cards and is also available now at 5to9game.com. Listeners, make sure to check out Bronte wherever music is streaming. Make sure to check out The Arrangement on Tubi, Roku, and Sling, and soon Meatloaf and Pie and the Sunset at the Sunset Cafe will be available in many streaming platforms, I imagine, as well. If you 5 to 9ers listening out there were chomping at the bit, yelling out better solutions for today's challenge, enter for a chance to come on our show by beating us at our own game. Get your official 5 to 9 game cards at 5to9game.com. Play today's challenge and tag at 5 to 9 game with your winning game card on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook to show us how it's done. High scores, as well as creativity and entertainment value, will all be considered. This has been 5 to 9. I'm your host, Eric Ginsberg. Our show is recorded at the Showroom Cinema on Cookman Avenue in beautiful Asbury Park, New Jersey. Our producers are Jason Portizo and Laura Ginsberg. Our theme music is Monday Night on an Otherwise Empty Beach on my album Fire, streaming on all platforms. Subscribe to 5 to 9 wherever you get podcasts. Follow us on social media at 5 to 9 Game to play with or against the global 5 to 9 community. Thanks for listening, and let's play together again soon.